We'll take a moment with our final event, our final performers tonight, the So Dominant String Quintet. Anna, we've talked to you before already tonight. This is your second opportunity to perform for people. What would you like them to know about you as a musician that maybe I haven't covered yet?
I'm not sure what to say.
Well, that's all right. We'll just move right along to the next one. It's actually been terrific to hear you play, and we all, I'm sure, wish you well. Let's see what we can do here.
Scoot over a little bit.
This is violin 2.
Yes.
Would you tell us a little bit about yourself as a musician?
Yes, I'm Meredith. You probably said my name. I'm 17. I've played violin. Well, it's a little bit of a funny story. I played when I was 5, but then I didn't particularly like it that much, so I quit, and then I started back up again when I was 8 years old, and I'm 17 now. So I've loved it ever since then.
Terrific. Do you like playing second violin? Tell me about your role in this ensemble.
Yes, I do like playing second violin. Sometimes it's just like, I don't want to say that it's easier, but I don't have to feel as much pressure on myself that I'm not the first violinist and I'm not like always the soloist, so it's nice to be under the, I guess, other music sometimes.
Very good. Let me move over to the cello, following the etiquette of talking to the ladies first. Can you tell us a little bit about your life in music?
Yes, I started playing cello when I was 7 years old. I took with Grace Field at the Suzuki Academy of Kalamazoo, and I now take with Bruce Uchimura.
Nice. And so in this particular ensemble, you're not the bass voice. You're somewhere in the middle. What is that like compared to, say, a string quartet?
Yeah, it's different. I've never played in a bass quintet, and it is different to be able to play a little more of the melody, and I like it. I definitely like it. I like playing in quartets as well, but it's definitely fun to get a chance to not always be on the bottom.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing some more from you. How about viola? How do you fit into this group?
I play a bit of the melody, but I'm also sort of underneath everyone else, and I play a sort of supportive role within the quintet itself.
Does your instrument have a particular story about how it came to you, or how you got it, or anything like that?
Actually, I'm actually a violinist normally, and I've started playing viola with this quintet, so when we started playing, I went over to Scott Tribby's house and asked if I could borrow a viola, and he said yes, and so yeah, that's the story.
So this is a Scott Tribby viola,
Yes.
made here in Kalamazoo, where we're lucky to have a really terrific luthier and craftsman who can help our youth by lending them instruments. All right, there's an instrument that's very much after my own heart here that is very beautifully played with just such talent and expertise that I envy your instruction. Ben, tell us a little bit about your life as a bass player.
I actually started playing music when I was 5, and I started on the violin with Tomio Anderson. I played Suzuki violin, and then when I was 13, I switched over to the bass for my main instrument, and right now I take with Noah Curzan. And the reason I switched over actually is because I played in KJSO in 8th grade, and we had good bass section, strong, lots of basses, and then next year we had no basses. And Mr. Kohler said, Ben, I saw you play the bass in PSO, would you play in KJSO? And if Mr. Kohler asks you to do something, you always do it. So I switched over, and now I love it.
Beethoven would call that a categorical imperative. So, the name of this ensemble, Anna asked me to ask you how the name came about.
Yeah, Sing Sing, Anna told me that we needed a name, and it was, I think the night of our audition? And the first part, So, comes from the scale Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. It's the 5th one in that, so there's 5 of us. I thought, why not? We'll just build from there. And then Dominant comes from the scale degrees. It starts with tonic, and then supertonic, and then median, and then subdominant, and then dominant. And dominant is the 5th one in that. And another thing is when you hear the dominant chord, you don't want the song to end. You want to go back to tonic. So when you hear the dominant, you want it to keep going. And so when we play, you want us to keep going. And it also means so dominant because, well, it's double meaning there too. We're so dominant.
Outstanding. Well, I'm sure you are all as excited as I am to hear Dvorak's String Quintet, Opus 1, the final movement, Allegro con fuoco.